Dallas? It's your girl Rachel. I have a special guest on my show today, Mr. Jerry. How are you?
Hey guys, how you doing? Better than yesterday, and hopefully only half as good as I'll be tomorrow. Every day trying to grow.
Absolutely. So, for all of the viewers that are tapping in right now, Jerry and I have talked on our show before. We've actually done his testimony about recovering in the process and that recovery is possible. But since it's been a hot minute since the last time we talked, so many things have changed. But here we are. We're going to go ahead and just maybe do a short synopsis of your recovery story and what you got going on now. So go ahead and let everybody know.
Well, I was in active addiction for over 18 years. I was the lost one. I was the guy at the 7-Eleven that you wouldn't give $1 to because you knew I was going to spend it on drugs, and you were probably right. Many people said that there was no hope, there was no chance that I was going to die in my addiction. By the grace of God, I had a moment of clarity, and that all turned around for me. It was one small step after the other. I saw something earlier today. Said, "How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time." It's the same way you recover, one day at a time. And I just saw that today, and I thought, man, that really hits. I was able to start going back to school. I wanted to be an addiction counselor. I started working at a treatment center, so my day was filled with recovery from sun up to sundown, and sometimes overnights. I was working at the recovery, working as a peer recovery coach. I was teaching classes. I was telling people my story. I was helping people get sober themselves. But see, this thing, recovery, it's you got to pay the rent daily. Somebody once told me, you're either working towards your recovery or you're working towards your relapse. And even though I was helping all these people, the one thing I wasn't doing was I wasn't helping myself. My cup was getting poured out and it was empty, and I wasn't giving myself any self-care, and I put myself in a lot of danger. I ended up leaving the treatment center because I realized that there's no way I continue to help people without helping me. I relocated back to the DFW area because my father had gotten sick, and I wanted to spend his last days on earth with him. Wrecked my car, and it just went all downhill. I was living in my sister's camper. It was bad. I mean, and I was in recovery. But just because you're in recovery doesn't mean life is perfect. It doesn't mean that everything goes the way you want it to go. Life still life's, and the temptation to use was never stronger. Everything that I thought I'd learned, everything that I thought I taught, all of a sudden the man that knew couldn't do it. And it was crazy because it's like, if you know how to get somewhere, I take a right at this stop sign, but like my car wouldn't go that direction, and I continued to go towards the wrong path. So my father passed around the same time. My son gave me a beautiful granddaughter, and he said, "Dad, you weren't really here with me, and I don't hold it against you. You're better, but I'd really like you to come be here with your granddaughter." So I packed up everything I had, put it in a rental car because again, car's gone, and I moved up here to Oklahoma, and I was 4 days away from homelessness again. And there's actually a program for military veterans that I want to scream about. I want to tell everybody about because they saved me. Like, they kept telling me all the times, I earned it. And they're right. As a veteran, I did earn it, but I didn't want to use the programs because I thought it was like feeding off the government but there's times that you need to ask for help. And if you ask for it and use the process, use it properly, it can get you somewhere you never thought you could go. So there's this program out there for veterans. And if there's any veteran watching this, I want you to get on Google, look it up in your county. It's called SSVF, Support for Veteran Families. And basically what they did was they took a man that was this close to relapse. I mean, I was like, screw it. I'm going to have to go back to being a DJ. I'm going to have to go back to selling. I'm going to have to, everything's about to get thrown away because I didn't see a path. Thankfully, I just one more day at a time, just one more bite out of the elephant. And then before I knew it, being 4 days away from being homeless, they moved me into an apartment in Northwest Oklahoma City. And it wasn't great, but it was not on the streets. And then from there, I was able to relocate again out here to a little town called El Reno, Oklahoma, which is famous for the onion burger. That's about it. That's all they got here. I love my little town though. It's awesome. I think I'm going to run for mayor one day. But I was able to relocate here, and again, it was at one day at a time. But it was because I started using the support from veterans. I'm now in the VA healthcare. I now get disability through the VA healthcare.
Mhm.
Today I'm currently 40%, which amounts to almost $800 of untaxed money that just shows up in my account every month. It's a little thank you for losing your hearing. Thank you for and it's actually going to go up. There's other ways to get that disability rating to continue to go up, but a lot of
Mhm.
veterans don't know about it. A lot of veterans think, oh, it's too hard, or oh, that's for everybody else. The one I used was, I'm not a combat vet. I don't deserve it.
Mhm.
And that was the biggest lie I told myself.
Mhm.
It's a big trigger that we have in recovery is whenever you can't do something or you feel incapable. Because
Right.
I've said this in the last video, addiction is disconnection. And
Mhm.
if we can reconnect people, if we can reconnect the addict to with jobs, with community, with helping others, all of a sudden that need or desire starts to fade a little bit. There's no cure
Mhm.
for this disease. We know that. I will every day I will wake up saying, today I'm going to stay sober.
Mhm.
I don't know about tomorrow, but just for today, I'm going to stay sober, and
Mhm.
that's what it is. Now I work as I'm the head of security at a very successful restaurant slash bar in the Bricktown area. It's a big food truck place. Everybody loves it. It is the spot to go in Oklahoma City. I can't say the name of it on here because I don't have permission through their HR, through their department, but just look up truck places in Oklahoma City and you'll figure it out, I guess. But it's not just that. They gave me a chance. And then on top of it, the veterans gave me all the money to keep myself going. They paid my rent for 6 months. Can you
Mhm.
imagine being homeless? I mean, 4 days away. And again, I had a rental car, so
Mhm.
I wasn't just homeless in my car. I was homeless with nothing.
Mhm.
But now I drive a nice 2016 Silverado. Um, Life's looking up for me. I got a beautiful 3 bedroom house. Um, Everything that I was working for before, I kept going. And the
Mhm.
best thing just happened recently. I found out I'm qualified for what's called vocational rehab. And
Mhm.
what that does is they're going to pay for me to go back to school. I'm not done yet. I tell people every day, never give up, never
Mhm.
quit. And no doubt I'm going to have some hard days in front of me. There's no doubt I'm going to be sitting back in college going, I am 42. What the crap? I know it, but
Yeah.
I'm going to keep pushing because I want to show my kids, myself, and anybody that ever watches this video that I get it. Life is hard. Things happen. We
Mhm.
make bad choices. I made a choice to use drugs, and that choice took away my ability to make that choice ever again.
Mhm.
You know, there's the argument is addiction, is it a choice or a disease? Well, I mean, it's a disease
Mhm.
that you get by making one bad choice.
Yeah.
Whether it be alcohol. Most people start with alcohol, and then that lowers their inhibitions. Some people
Mhm.
get in a car wreck, and they just start to become dependent on pain meds. But none
Mhm.
of those things are any reason why we can't have the life that we deserve.
I agree with that. And
So
I
that's
want to kind of talk about getting the right support. So, there's a lot of recovery resources out there, a lot of people who just don't think that people care about them enough. But I do know from hearing your story that recovery is possible. If you are connected with the right people, then that recovery can happen. But
absolutely.
like you were saying, it takes one day at a time. It's like that. It's like that with alcoholism, drug use. You could be like addicted to a multitude of different things. Let's just put it on the table. But if you just getting up and changing your mindset for that one day,
Yeah,
you're still making a change in your life for even one day.
absolutely.
And I was talking with my daughter about that actually. I was like, every day you can choose to think negative or think positive. You can either consume it with what you used to be, or you can think, I'm not going to go back there and use it as a superpower to keep yourself from going there.
Exactly.
And I have a friend of mine, Jamie McGinty. She's also recovering too. She's a recovering alcoholic, but hearing her story, hearing your story, that you're out here helping people just by sharing your testimony that recovery is possible is really changing lives. So ever since
It's
you shared
crazy
that
that
story.
it's crazy to be a part of something that's bigger than me, you know?
Hmm.
'And mine's not the worst, but it's not the best, but it's just one of many.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'll go to the meetings and I'll hear all the other stories. And I have a lot of friends that are in recovery, and the thing is, we're one day away from a different choice, one choice away from a different life.
Right.
And so you're right. It's a every day I get up, I kind of joke around about it because now I have a home. I have the TVs on the walls. I have all those good things, right? And so I'll look up. I'm like, no, I still like my stuff today. I think I'll stay clean because inevitably I know this. I'm not good at it. I'm gonna lose. I will lose it all, including my freedom and most likely my life. And so
Hmm.
it's an everyday decision. Not that using there's no choice in it. It's making a decision not to put myself in a position to lose that choice again.
Hmm.
So you have to put barriers in between you and your relapse. Um,
Right.
Thankfully, alcohol was not my drug of choice. Although I drank when I was younger, it doesn't really, for me and my journey, it doesn't affect me. So I'm
Hmm.
able to work at a bar and it does not bother me at all. As a matter of fact, I kind of laugh at the people that get drunk, help them towards the door when they get too drunk. And it never makes me want to drink because drinking
Hmm.
just not for me. Now, granted, if there was a narcotics, usage place, I probably want to work security there. You know,
Hmm.
I won't go into a place where I know people are using drugs because if you
Hmm.
go to a barber shop, you're going to get a haircut. If you
Hmm.
hang out at the tattoo shop, you're going to get some ink done.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I recently helped get clean. He was in Arizona, and he's an old DJ friend. I've known him for 20 years. We've been through a hell of a life together. And he called me and he said, "Man, I want what you got." And I said, "Well, it's not for you if you just need it. You got to
Hmm.
want it." And he said, "Well, you don't understand." And I laughed at him because, yeah, right. Okay, you're right. But every time I walk into a room, somebody's sharing the pipe. And I said, "Well, Tim, I'm going to give you the best advice I think that's possible. And quit going to that dang room, Tim. Quit. Quit going to
Hmm.
the room. Change it."
Hmm.
And it
Right.
and it sounds easy when you say it out loud, but if that's the room, the only room that there's a roof over your head, that's when you got to start digging for resources. And so
Right.
anybody that's watching this right now, if you maybe you're like him or like me, that every time you went into the room, somebody was sharing that, whether it be
Hmm.
pipe or bottle or joint or whatever the drug of choice is.
Hmm.
Figure out a way to quit going there. And I promise you, there are resources out there. I tell everybody reach out to me at the JerBear Recovery. That's my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook, all social media platforms. If I can't personally help you, I can connect you with somebody that can. We
Hmm.
used to do a podcast. We're not doing it currently, but who knows what's going to happen in the future, called The Recovery Dealers from Dope to Hope.
Right.
I'm very good friends with a guy from Thunder Up Recovery or Thunder Recovery in Austin. So if you're in
Hmm.
Texas, I got you. If you're in Oklahoma, I got you. And if you're somewhere that I've never been, I'll find somebody that can get you.
Hmm.
We will take care of you. That's the thing about addicts. We go hard. And so
Hmm.
when addicts become clean and get recovery, we go hard at that too. I
Yeah.
saw a pastor once said that if we could get drug addicts to worship just half as much as they worship that drug, Satan's in trouble. And he
Hmm.
is, because that's exactly what's happening. And I see people on my social media, people that I've helped or people that have helped me, and it's a one day at a time, but you can't stay quiet.
Right.
A closed mouth doesn't get fed. And there's no shame in the fact that if you've been an addict. And
Hmm.
that if I could leave any legacy on this earth, it's that there's no shame that you went through something tough. The only shame is if you let yourself stay in it, you know.
Hmm.
And if yesterday was hard, okay, dust yourself off. If you relapse, one of the biggest things that I've seen with people is they go through things like I did, and then they relapse and they're ashamed now. Like, how can I go back? I was the voice of getting sober. How can I
Hmm.
go back now? Macklemore wrote a song called "Starting Over" that spoke to me when I was in the depths of my spiral. And he said, "If I can be the voice of getting sober, I can be the voice of starting over." And in that song, I was like, "Man, why do you got to write a song about me for? What did I, But it really hit because no matter what you went through yesterday, today is a fresh day,
Yeah.
and as long as you have air in your lungs, as long as you woke up this side of the dirt, you can recover, no matter
Mhm.
what it is. Today's an opportunity to break the pipe, to flush the drugs, to call a friend, call your community resources. Here in Oklahoma, we have Red Rock and lots of other programs. And if you don't have insurance, there's ways around that. If you
Mhm.
want it, you can have it. But if you
Absolutely.
just need it, it's probably not available. You got to really want it.
Yeah, and I do want to kind of talk about that too. Just for a disclaimer out here, I have seen recovering addicts praise God because they do it every Sunday at our church.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to tell you, the fire in their soul of just being able to release all that feeling, all that freedom to praise
Mm-hmm.
God, it's a beautiful thing to watch. So, I know that you're in Oklahoma. In Dallas, we do have the Well Recovery Center, which is in South Dallas on Hamilton Avenue. That is a Dallas resource. And Jerry has the resources in Oklahoma. So there's like two different ways that you guys can get some real help. But I just want to tell you
Absolutely.
that help is out there. You really just have to choose it. When you say, I'm tired of waking up like this, I really need help. I need community. I need the resources. Like I need it. Like people who say they want something, but when you really say I really, really need it, I need to change, that's when it really
Yeah.
starts happening. And
Well, I had a friend of mine. He told me. I said, "Man, what was it for you? How did you get that moment of clarity, as we call it?" And he looked at me straight in my eyes and he said, "Jerry, I got tired of losing."
mhm,
He said, "Man, every day I was losing. I was losing money. I was losing friends. I was losing where I was staying. I lost relationships." He said, "I
mhm,
just got tired of losing." For me, I
mhm,
ran out of stuff to lose.
right.
You know, so I know if somebody's watching this now, and if you're tired of losing, reach out. Reach
Mhm.
out because there's somebody there, whether it be me or somebody else. I promise you, this recovery thing goes. We go hard, and there's somebody out there that wants to help you.
Absolutely. And I speak on the other side of that story. So I was not a user, but I was a family of a user. I was a wife of a user. So I mean, I could speak on, being patient, being loving, also understanding that sometimes they're just going to do what they're going to do and they leave. I mean, honestly,
Right.
that's kind of how it happens, but I became one of those family members where I tried so hard and hard and hard just trying to be there and trying to change people, and I was just like, I can't change you. I can't change your habits. It has to be you. And I think that's kind of an understanding. So if somebody else is listening to this and this part of the conversation reaches you, pray for them, be there still. But sometimes, sometimes you just have to let them get the help when they need
Yeah,
it.
you have to protect your peace in you.
Hmm.
When I got clean and I saw my stepdaughter continue to battle, everything in me wanted to just go wrap my arms around her and just make her
Hmm.
better. That's not the way it works. So I had to
Hmm.
love her with long arms. That's what some
Hmm.
of the things we say in recovery: love with long arms or love from a distance.
Yeah.
I had a friend that said, "I just had to hold space for you. I knew you'd be back, or I believed
Hmm.
you would be back, but I can't. You can't. You can't change them, and they can only want to do it for themselves." I try to
Hmm.
get clean for my kids. I love my kids. I love my granddaughter. I love them. I would give up my life for them. But as an
Hmm.
addict, I could not give up drugs. I
Hmm.
couldn't do it. And if there's anybody out there that did, well, then great. My addiction progressed. It's a progressive disease,
It
and where it
really is.
progressed for
Yeah.
me, probably for almost everybody listening that is an addict, you can't, but you can do it
Hmm.
for you. And once you do it for you, and you put you and your sobriety first, everything
Hmm.
else comes in place. It's not. Some people say, "Well, you got to put God first." Well, I think if you put God center, then everything else happens with it. So
Oh
put God
man,
center,
that's deep. That's
put
deep.
your recovery first, and then your everything will be there. But if you don't put God center, if you don't put your recovery first, You can't be there for everybody else. It's
That's true.
impossible. So, but the biggest thing is no matter what happened yesterday, no matter how many times you fell down, there's a resource to help you get back up. And they're out there. Rachel, you talk about you have the Dallas ones. There's some in Fort Worth. Like I said, I'm connected well enough that if I don't know them off the top of my head, they're one email away. They're one phone call away. And if I could do it, you could do it too. That's what I
Absolutely.
know. If this poor boy from Mesquite, Texas, that didn't have much, all his family's gone. I mean, I have a brother that's alive. I have my kids. My parents have gone on to heaven. So it's like, well,
Mhm.
who do I reach out to? Who's really going to care enough about Jerry? There's so many people out there that care about me. It blows my mind. And they cared
Mhm.
about me when I was using. They just
Mhm.
couldn't let themselves get brought into it. I had
Mhm.
friends that distanced themselves from me that I thought just they're haters or they're judging me. No, they were
Mhm.
just protecting their life. Because if they didn't protect their recovery, their sobriety, they'd been no good to me whenever I was able to start protecting my own as well. It's the same
Absolutely.
rotation of how it all goes. If we God centered, protect our recovery first, the things we can do for each other are crazy. And
Mhm.
watching addicts put down that pipe and move on to the next phase of their life of helping others.
Mhm.
You talk about how excited they get in church. It's because they've seen hell. They've lived
Mhm.
it. They lived hell here on this earth. And so now to know that never again, one of my favorite things I tell people in recovery is I got good news for you. You'll
Mhm.
never have to use that again. You'll never
Mhm.
have to touch the pipe. You'll never have to go to the gas station at 12:05 and use the ATM machine. Nothing good comes out of an ATM at midnight. I promise you that. You never have to do that again. You never
Right.
have you never have to none of those things. You
Mhm.
get to live a life. I mean, I woke up. I don't go to work until 5 o'clock this evening. I'm off from my day job today, and I literally woke up at 8 a.m. just happy as could be, like a bird was singing out. Said, well, I'm gonna go fix my pool. I'm getting the pool up for summertime, and that's
Mhm.
what my day consists of now. I don't have to worry about hustling or oh no, I need to change my banking app, and I wonder if I get Cash App to give me $5. All those things that you're going through, you don't have to go through it ever again. But it starts with
Man,
that first step of asking for something. Asking
absolutely.
yourself, are you tired of losing?
Absolutely. And, I'm just saying, seeing you from our conversation that we had in 2023, I have seen you progress and I have seen you inspire people. And I just want to kind of like touch base, like since our first interview, how has that helped you help others?
Well, I mean, we had the interview and we did the little slideshow, which showed all the pictures of me through active addiction and then getting clean. Which, by the way, if anybody hasn't seen this, go back and look because I thought I was hot stuff when I was 195 pounds. Turns out it was not. um, but I was able to use that video and reach more people, and it gives them a chance, some hope, some strength and hope. If JerBear did it, maybe I can do it. And then I share it with people as I meet new people. I'm like, go check this out. This is my story. It's a great introduction thing just to say, here, who's who I am. If you want to be a part of my life, you need to know because if you do any of
Right,
those other things, I don't have space for you. But
right.
if you want a better life, come join it. And
Mhm.
so that video and doing that and through social media, being able to reach people, it also gives me strength.
Mhm.
It's just another day of okay, today I'm going to set the example. Today I'm going to
Mhm.
show that not only was I the voice of getting sober, but now I'm going to be the voice of starting over.
Right.
And I feel pretty good about today. Tomorrow's not promised. But if some unforeseen circumstance happens that knocks me on my butt, I can promise one thing: I won't stay there. Somehow
Mhm.
I'm going to dust myself off. I
Mhm.
have these on my desk here, and they're actually I got one. I'm using my daughter's room because I didn't have
Sasquatch.
one from another time. This Sasquatch stays on my desk. I have one on my truck. They're all over my house. They're kind of paintings. And the reason for the Sasquatch, they started off as a joke between me and a buddy that didn't make sense, and then it was believe in yourself even when no one else does.
Mhm.
And so that's really what I keep Sasquatches all over my house to remind me that as long as I believe in me, I'm gonna be okay.
Mhm.
And thankfully, through that one day at a time, the one bite out of the elephant, I've been able to show others.
Mhm.
shortly after I talked with you, I reconnected with my. She's now 16. At the time, was 14, and I
Mhm.
remember my kid telling me, they said, Jerry, because I wasn't dad. I lost the dad title because I was gone. And they
Right.
said, Jerry, how do I know you're not going to go back to doing it again? I said,
Mhm.
baby, you don't. And I could tell you all these cool things I read in books that'll make you feel warm and fuzzy. Or I can just be honest with you and tell you, sit back and watch. Watch
Mhm.
my actions.
Right.
Now that kiddo just had their sweet 16th birthday. I took them to get their ID. Dad took them, not Jerry. Jerry got put away. Dad's back, and I get phone calls all the time. We FaceTime. They live about an hour away in another small town in Oklahoma. I go see them as much as we can. They're working a good job now and going to school full time. I'm so proud of this kid. She's shown me more strength and courage than I think I could ever have. And some
Mhm.
of my strength comes from watching. I'm like, man, that kid went through hell. Look at him
Mhm.
flourishing. And so that's the same thing that I try to do. And I hope that anybody that watches my story or anybody that hears this can see that no matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, you're loved. You can do this. Recovery is possible. You just got to go one day at a time, one bite out of the elephant.
Mhm.
When God died, when Jesus died for our sins, He died for all of them. He didn't
Mhm.
just die for the rich guy that's got money. He didn't just die for the blind. He died for everybody. He died for drug addicts and all sinners. And
Mhm.
I think once we realize that and realize that we're saved by grace, and that because he did that, we don't have to live in that hatred no more, that fear, that self hate. It's gone because if he can
Mhm.
forgive us, surely we can forgive ourselves. If our
Amen.
creator can find a way to forgive, we messed up something he made. Like he made us in his image and we've messed it up by making these decisions, by going to the party or drinking too much or putting the drugs in our system. But even in
Mhm.
that moment, he wasn't surprised. I used to tell my clients this. He's not shocked. We've never surprised God. He's never went, I didn't see that coming. He actually did see it coming. The beauty
Mhm.
of it is he actually saw a path for us to get out of it too, because he made it. And so if we will just forgive ourselves and
Mhm.
just say, God forgave me, so the Lord knows if he forgave me, I'm gonna forgive me too. And we just step into that forgiveness, the weight is
Mhm.
gone, and it's so much easier to do it. It's so much easier to start over. Dust
Yeah.
yourself off, get back up. And when people say, but I've relapsed 5 times, cool, come do it 6 more. Let's go. Get back up. We're gonna keep going.
Get back up. Let's keep doing it.
I mean, because as long as you're here, you can do it. As long as you're on this
Mhm.
earth, you can, I saw a kid, he went to rehab 9 times back to rehab. He's doing
Mhm.
good now. He's been sober for a year and a half now. It took 9 for him. What's your lucky number? 20?
Mhm.
Okay, let's go 20 times.
Let's keep
That's
going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Change
whatever your
is
lucky number,
possible.
let's find it. That's what I tell people. Let's find your number. When somebody relapses, we don't shame them. We don't tear them down. Like, sucks down there, huh? Come on, I got you. Get back up. And we
Mhm.
have that attitude, man. It's the amount of people we can help and the way things we can do for ourselves is just immeasurable. So
Absolutely.
that's a catch up. I mean, I give a lot of credit to all credit to God, really.
Mhm.
Without Him, I wouldn't have any of this. No sobriety, no house, no family, no none of that. But I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing, if I can get anything out in this interview for people who are listening, is use your resources. Use
Mhm.
your resources. Find out what they are. If you're a veteran, man, you have so many resources. Veterans, stop sleeping on them resources. Get up, call your VSO, tell them you want some vocational rehab. They'll pay for you to go back to school. They're not only going to pay for me to get my degree, social work, as a
Mhm.
therapist, but they're also going to pay my rent while I'm in school.
Mhm.
So now my job that I have, I could cut back hours so I can focus on school, or I can just
Mhm.
stack that, put that in savings, keep building that up.
Mhm.
Whatever God has planned for me, I can step into those blessings. But it all starts with asking for help.
Mhm.
Or you
Absolutely.
can't do this on your own. You can't. I couldn't do it on my own. And there's so many resources out there. So that's the message is use your resources.
Absolutely. And I love that. And I just want to take a moment to thank God for restoration in your life, Jerry, because I have seen you, we've known each other since middle school. high
Yeah.
school, okay? And that just seeing the change, because I knew you when you were a DJ. We were on social media. We were connected when you were a DJ, but we lost contact and we came back together. So I we reconnected after you started your recovery journey.
Hmm.
So it's like I've seen a lot of sides of you, and I'm very proud of you. And if you
Thank
can
you.
keep going, even just that one next day, you're still here and you still matter. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on and helping me spread this message of hope and recovery because I know we got a lot of people that need to hear it, and I hope that they keep listening and watching.
Absolutely. So, I would also like to put on here. So you've learned advice from when you were younger, when you were a teenager and whatnot, like we all have. But if there was a young teenager that was about to walk in your steps, what would you tell him?
Oh man, that's so much. Sit down. That's the first
I
thing.
didn't ask you that
Sit
last
down.
time.
Um, I think if I could go back and tell little Jerry or another person that's going to go through the things I've gone through, I think I would tell him to take life one day at a time. Don't worry about tomorrow so much. Just slow down and enjoy this life. Um,
Mhm,
and keep good people around you. You'll do good things. If you keep
mhm,
bad people around you, you're going to do bad things. Um, it's hard to because I know young me wouldn't have listened. Young me would have wanted the flashy lights, the my name on the billboard, the big DJ guy. That's what young me
mhm.
wanted. The Mister, we all think we want to be that popular guy, but there's so much more peace and relaxation in your life if you just if it's a teenager and they want to work all the time like I did. I would tell them enjoy being a kid, enjoy not having that electric bill come in your name. It's nice.
Mhm.
um if it was somebody that was taking their first drink, I would tell them be responsible.
Right.
Alcohol's okay if you can handle it responsibly, but you need to
Mhm.
understand, I tell my children, you got the gene of addiction in you, which means you're one bad day away from a different life. So you better watch that very closely. When it comes to
Mhm.
hard drugs and alcohol, just one will kill you. Don't try it. It ain't worth it. That feeling you think you're going to get, you'll only get once, then you'll spend the rest of your life chasing it. And while you're chasing it, you're risking everything. You're risking your relationships and you're risking your life. And I promise you, there's way better feelings in this world that you'll get from staying clean.
Absolutely. I think that's very solid advice. I'm just saying, I am thankful for the follow up with you because seeing the growth in you and also seeing like the maturity level, the discipline, the understanding, the things that a lot of people take for granted. It's very evident in you. And it's like you're living one day at a time, but you're living with purpose now. It's
Yeah.
it's I've seen you. I've been watching you on social media. I'm just saying. So, I just want to give you your accolades for just keep going. Like just the
Thank you.
message of just keep going. If you,
I, you know,
you know,
I've no, I hope that I can keep doing this another 100 years. But if I were to go tomorrow, I want to go with the legacy of he never gave up,
Mhm,
and he kept pushing for better. And that's what I would tell anybody today is, no matter where you are, you can get better. And if you think you're where you want to be and you keep trying harder, you can still get even better from that. There's there's
absolutely.
there's no ceiling for us here. We
Mhm,
immeasurable more is what God will give. And so, and real quick, just to touch on, because I'm sure there's somebody right now that's in addiction that maybe they don't believe in God. Well,
mhm,
guess what? He believes in you, so it's going to be okay.
mhm,
And that's what I tell my friends. I have friends like, well, I can't go to NA because I don't believe in God. I was like, you don't have to believe in Him. See, we worship a God that loves you so much that even in your sin, He's there with you. So that's
mhm.
fine. Don't believe Him today, but I promise you, if you put in the work, you'll become a believer. You will. You won't
Absolutely.
you won't have a choice. You'll see you will see what he's done, and you'll realize that it wasn't by your hands that it came happen. So like I have friends right now that are battling and that are getting clean, and they give it to their higher power, whatever that may be. You know,
Mhm.
whatever they you label it what you want, but the God that I serve, he knows and he loves
He's
you
a big
enough to
guy.
get you through. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that was something else I wanted to touch on because I know that we talk a lot about the faith behind it. It takes faith.
It
Um,
really does.
but if you're not at a point where you can say what that is, I promise you, as long as you'll work on yourself and understand that you can't do it alone, you need help.
Mhm.
Get your resources, and there's so many out there. Again, the SSVF will help you with housing if you're a veteran. Nexus will help you. They're in the Dallas area. I think they're another local recovery. Google it or just send me a message at the JerBear Recovery on any social media platform. I will respond and I will get back to you.
Absolutely. And we will also follow up probably a lot sooner than 2 years difference.
Yeah, let's not wait a whole 2 years. Let's maybe next time my hair will be a little bit longer.
You know what? You look great. Okay. So everybody, please go follow JerBear Recovery if you know someone that could benefit from this interview. And I also just shared his testimony on my actual What's Up Dallas page, the part one. It's labeled part one. This is going to be part two. So please go share it with someone. Go follow JerBear. Follow What's Up Dallas. We are always bringing positivity and inspiration to you and your community. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Take care.